Good morning and happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Live Copy Talk. I'm Michelle Quay. I am a visibility coach and storytelling master. My passion is in storytelling and how you use the storytelling superpower, to turn a passion for coaching. We all got into coaching because it's something that inspires us and that you take us out of our bed in the morning and feel excited about working with our clients. So, welcome to the show. And if you have not heard already, there's only 3 days left to the attract client through storytelling. So, if you're interested, this is the right time. Definitely check out that link. You can go ahead and click that link, and I will see you in the class, which we are starting next week. Yes, next week. Time fly. 80 days until Christmas, by the way, everybody. Drop it into the chat where you're watching this from, and I would love to hear from you. Say taco to let me know that you are here watching this show. Today, I'm excited because this is a topic that's really, I'm passionate about it. So, and you know why I say passionate so many times. So, I'm passionate about it, right? All right, so today we're going to talk about how to gain visibility for your business and attract your ideal clients without paying ad. With me is my friend and colleague and visibility and business coach, Tracy Beaver, who is a BusinTess and Sales coach from Arkansas. She has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs over the years with everything from overcoming the fear of sales to growing their business visibility through organic marketing strategies. So if you are tired of all these strategies that people are telling you, then definitely click the like button, subscribe to our shows, and I would love to hear your thoughts about the idea of marketing. What is your perception about marketing? Is marketing manipulative, or is it something that, just spark conversation? Tracy, she walks hand in hand with her client to provide them with a roadmap of clear action steps so that they can put their blinders on and confidently get to work. I love that about a woman getting to work and just rocking it and just killing it. So, without further ado, please join me with a warm welcome, Tracy Beaver. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So you are in Arkansas. How's the weather over there?
It's actually really nice right now. We had a very, very hot summer, like unsafe kind of hot. Now it's turned into fall, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day.
What's your favorite season?
That's a really great question. I prefer seasons that have more sunlight and sunny days. So I would say my least favorite is the gloomy gray of winter. But as long as the sun's out, I'm happy.
That is so interesting. Because Alman, my favorite thing, my favorite season is something that's very gloomy, that's cold. It's kind of like it gives you that cozy feeling where you can just snug up next to a fireplace and have your hot cocoa, and which is why I keep counting down to Christmas, and it's like 80 something day till Christmas. I totally so looking forward to it. Yeah, one visibility is such a big topic nowadays because after the pandemic, a lot of people are, a lot of businesses are kind of thinking about how can I leverage to a bigger audience? How can I bring my business where I don't have to be stuck physically in a physical environment? So, but people are struggling to get visible because there's so many noise like on social media. How did you get into the business and visibility coaching?
So I've been in the marketing and sales and business growth space for close to 20 years. And several years ago, decided that I was tired of corporate and I really just wanted to do my own thing. And I had been told for a number of years that I was a really great person to come to for help, like a coach or a mentor. And, through my success in sales, I realized that not everybody likes sales. Not everybody knows how to grow a business, especially not in the online space. It's building a business brick and mortar and building a business online have a lot of similarities. But just like you said, the online space is super loud and super noisy. And so what I began to discover with my clients was that they may have this great product, this course, this group coaching program, private one-to-one coaching, but they don't have anybody to sell it to. And I think a lot of people put the cart before the horse. They think, oh, I'm going to go make an online course. Wonderful. They do all the research. They create this thing. But then when you go to sell it, you have to have an audience. And in order to have an audience, and what I teach is building your email list, because that truly is the only thing we own as business owners, because we don't own social media. But when you go to sell it, you have to have people to sell it to. So I teach entrepreneurs how to get visibility and attract their ideal clients without any paid ads. They're all organic strategies. And that came about through my frustration with paid ads. The 2 times I ran paid ads last year, I might as well have taken my money, put it in a pile, and lit it on fire. It was such a waste of money, thousands of dollars. And so I thought, all the businesses I've built them through organic strategies. And I thought, okay, Tracy, go back to the drawing board, go back to what you know, and teach everybody that. And it's been extremely fulfilling. As you mentioned, I have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs get visible and grow their audiences. And it's so cool to help them see that they can do this without having to pay a lot of money. They can do it for free.
Yeah, I can totally resonate with the paying ad, and you spend thousands of dollars, right, trying to get it to work. And I'll be honest, that was me like 5 years ago when I first started. I started to use paying ad. And the way that I draw traffic, it wasn't an email list. It was more like, oh, here's my discovery call, because that's what we want to do, right? Ultimately, we want to get clients to be on our discovery call. And so what I did was, and you can tell me like how I was doing wrong. You can use me as an example of how I was doing wrong. So initially, I linked it. I created a beautiful graphic, and there's like people say, oh, you should do video. So I did video, and it looks so awkward on the ad itself. And I remember I put it out, and all I get was crickets. But like, it's accumulating, right? So every day as you put it out there, they're charging you for like how many dollars per click and how many dollars per website visit. So it's accumulating a lot of money, but there's not a whole lot of traffic. And even if I did have the traffic coming in, the quality was so poor. Yeah. So it took me, I pay my tuition to learn how to run Facebook ad. I'll be transparent. I do run Facebook ad nowadays, but the intention to grow these Facebook ad is really to grow my email community. So I love what you just shared. So like, as you're building your business, was there any challenges that you personally experienced and you might be able to share with us?
Oh gosh, yes. Oh, for sure. How many do you want me to list?
Right? I feel like we have a long laundry list.
Let me get my scroll out of mistakes and things that I've done. So, and any entrepreneur who tells you that they haven't fumbled and they haven't fallen down and they haven't made mistakes, they're just lying. I'm sorry. They're just not telling the truth. So, oh my gosh, let me think. Building in the online space. When I first got started in coaching, it was at the local level here because that's what I knew. I have a large network here from all the years I'd spent in corporate. And so a lot of my clients in large part in the beginning were people that I already knew, my warm market. And so getting into the online space, there were a lot of mistakes made. I mean, it's loud, it's noisy. You've got to figure out how to write the marketing messaging that is going to pull people into you. A lot of people use cold spammy DM messages and push marketing, and that does not work. And so trying to figure out the nuances of how do I go into a Facebook group where I'm not allowed to promote, but still get visibility? How do I make sure that my social media profiles, the very basic thing I want everybody to check today is when I find you in a Facebook group or I see you on Instagram and I click on your profile, I want to land there and know exactly who you are, who you serve, and what you do. And if I can't tell that, then you've lost me. And Michelle, there are so many times I'm interacting in Facebook groups and I'll meet somebody really cool and I'll think, ooh, I love what they said. Ooh, maybe they can help me with XYZ, or maybe they would be a great collaboration partner. Or a guest expert in my Facebook group. And I click on their name and I go to their profile and there's nothing there. It's like you click on their work thing and it says no workplaces to show. I go to their contact section. There's no website. There's no links for anything. And there's a picture of like their dog for their cover photo. And I'm thinking, you just lost me. You just lost a chance to grow your audience with me. So think about how many hundreds of times a day that happens. So it was basic things like making sure that every nook and cranny of my profile was completely maxed out, down to tips that I give in my course that I teach about that Facebook cover photo and some things that people don't really know about the Facebook cover photo. And then, using the right marketing messaging in my copy, being able to go into Facebook groups or groups in LinkedIn and contribute to the conversation and promote myself without promoting, learning how to do that and be, those subtle ways of doing sales and marketing. You gotta get in there and you gotta find your groove. And then figuring out, what does my audience want to hear? It took some time to figure that out. And it turns out it's visibility strategies, organic strategies. And, oh gosh, I started my own Facebook group over a year ago, made massive mistakes with that. Now it's thriving and it's great. And we have, 80%, 80, 90%, or not 90%, 75 to 80% engagement from our members. We've got about 1,500 members in there now. But at the beginning of the show, I think you said something about if you're tired of throwing spaghetti at the wall. That was me. We have to throw the spaghetti, Yeah. But then people will hire people like you and me to help them roadmap it out and make it easier for them to get where they want to go in a faster way. And that way, because they can learn from people like you and I who've made all the mistakes.
Right. And that's something I always say to like a lot of my clients or people who's following me. I'm not like some kind of guru who's like really super ahead of you, right? I'm just a couple of steps before you, and I can tell you that these are the mistakes I have made and avoid them. Avoid them at all costs, because that will shorten your period. And there's that myth number where, oh, you have to wait for 3 years in order to get to like your business, right? But if you think about it, I had to do it for 3 years, but you don't have to, because I'm telling you all these mistakes that I have made so that you don't have to make them. So hopefully that shorten your time process of how fast you get there, right? And that's our whole intention. And I also love about the strategy that you're sharing, because you're right, that organic growth is such a hot topic right now, because no matter which social media platform you go to, there's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Coaches are tired of getting those spammy and targeted ad and DM where I'm connecting with you because I want to have your business. And it just doesn't come off as very organic. It doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel authentic. And the story that you and I connected was, you shared something in a group that we're both in, and you had your beautiful picture, your smile. And I remember you posting about your work. And I'm like, oh, I need her to be on my podcast. And that's how you and I connected.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, and that's a great example, because I'm sure you clicked on my profile.
I did. I checked you out.
Yeah. What would you have done if there hadn't been any information there?
Just skip by. Because then I don't want to, nobody has the time in this world to discover or to dig deeper, like, what does this person do? We want something that's fast, that's easy. Give me the information, and either yes for me, no, not for me, and move on.
Right. And then when you reached out to me, I clicked on your profile and went to check you out. And I was like, okay, this girl knows her stuff. She's a legit business owner. She has awesome content. I can clearly see who you are and what you do, and your heart. I could clearly see your heart also. And how inspiring you were. And I was like, okay, she's somebody that I want to give my time to. That's the other thing. It's like, if you reach out to somebody and you say, would you like to be on my podcast? You want to hop on a 20-minute info call just to see if we're a good fit. I'm going to want to make sure that you're a good fit for me before I even get on that call. Cause I'm not giving somebody 20 minutes of my time if just to solve the mystery of who they are. That, you know what I mean? You're so right. When people click on the profile, they've got to see, it's like when you go to the restaurant and they give you the menu so you can see everything. That's what we have to have. You have to fill out your menu on your personal profile.
And I think the clients nowadays are smarter, right? When we go around, we don't just look for the surface thing. We want to really kind of research what this person is about. So if you're able to give people more information just by the first look, your first impression, yeah, like your, let's face it, your website, your social media, it's really your first impression for everybody.
It is.
So if you can give people that first impression, then you capture their attention. You give them a reason to stay a little longer than usual, right? We'll have the memory of a goldfish. So you give them an opportunity to like really stay on with you a little longer.
Right.
What's been the biggest struggle that you've noticed that your clients are going through?
They don't know what order to do things in. And they don't understand how the strategies, how all the organic strategies layer together on top of the other one. And it can just feel very overwhelming. It's like, okay, I need to post on social media. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to, all these little tips that they've cobbled together for free from YouTube or, lead magnets that they've picked up from other people. So they see the strategies, but they don't understand how to put the pieces of the puzzle together so that all roads lead to their email list. You know what I mean? So thinking through, okay, I'm going to max out my personal profile, but what's the strategy you're going to use? How are you going to use it as a growth strategy? That's where I think they're getting hung up. It's like every single step they take needs to lead to that audience growth and that email list growth. And so they're just missing it. It's like they have all the ingredients, but they don't know how to put them together.
So I'm gonna be kind of poking not poking the bear, but like digging a little bit for my people. So I'm their advocate. So like, what would be the initial first step? So we talked about optimizing your social media profile. Let's say I want to use that to grow my email list, right? What would be my next step?
So the first step is the social media profiles. So the Facebook personal profile, you want to set up a business page, and those are basics. And so you're going to want to make sure you filled in every nook and cranny that you possibly can. Look at the list they give you: work information, contact information, places you've lived, all those things. You want to max out those. And then when someone lands on your page, where do you want to send them? For me, when I just finished the launch of my program, the cart closed last week. So leading up to the cart open, when I was in pre-launch, I used my Facebook cover photo to advertise the master classes that I had going on and indicating where people could go to get registered for the master class. And again, there's a little secret with that cover photo that I teach in my course. But now what you'll see when you go to my personal profile is, I want you to join my Facebook group. So where do you want to send people? Is it to a free guide that you have, a cheat sheet or worksheet or whatever? Is it a Facebook group that you have? Is it your podcast? Is it a contact me button to set up a discovery call? Where is it that you want to lead them? I recommend that we lead them to the email list in some way. And the same goes for your business page. Every little nook and cranny that they give you needs to be maxed out. And that cover photo, you need to think through, what's my growth strategy right now? Am I in pre-launch and I want to be sending people to my webinar or my masterclass sign up? Or is my cart open and I want to advertise my course, group coaching program that I have? Or am I not in a launch state and I want them to join my Facebook group, or I want them to join my membership or my email list or whatever? So that would be the first place to start. And then a great second place to go is thinking through their social media content. Is their social media content attracting their audience? And social media content creation can feel enormous for a lot of my clients. They sit in front of the computer and they're like, I don't know what to say. Nothing's coming to me. So I have and I gave you the link to it.
Yes.
I have a short training that's free they can grab. And it is social media content made easy. And they can create 90 days of social media content topics in only 30 minutes. And the whole training doesn't take even 30 minutes. So that helps my clients list out the topics that they're going to talk about for the next 90 days. And then we talk about creating an anchor piece of content from which all the other content is created. For me, my anchor piece is my weekly live training that I do in my Facebook group every Thursday. My Facebook group is Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible and Grow Your Income. And so in that group, I do a live weekly training every Thursday. Everybody knows about it because I'm consistent. There's another thing. We have to be consistent. But then after I create that weekly live content, I've given them the subject. I've given them 3 or 4 tips that I'm going to talk about. And I'll pull out, actually my assistant will. I have an assistant now, but when I first started, I didn't. It was just me. But she'll pull out something that I said as a quote, and she'll create a quote graphic from that and talk about the topic. She'll pull out the 3 tips and be like a Tip Tuesday or business tips or whatever. She'll pull out video clips from it and create reels from that. And so instead of trying to reinvent the wheel every day on your content, think about what you've already created, because you probably have loads of content already, and try to repurpose that as much as possible. And being mindful that you want to talk about things that your clients want to hear, using the words they use and attracting them and pulling them to you. And then again, what's your call to action on that? There's ways that you can do calls to action without feeling salesy. One of my clients, she sent me a message a couple of weeks ago on Voxer, and she said, I finally feel like, because of your help, I finally feel like I can create calls to action on my social media posts that don't make me feel spammy and weird. So, that's another great strategy. So start at the basics, the foundations of your profiles. And I didn't mention Instagram, but it's the same thing on Instagram. When I go to your Instagram profile, I need to see who you are and what you do very clearly. And don't use clever words, and don't try to think of something super clever to do, because you're going to confuse people. Just be very clear. And then a link of where you want them to go next.
I absolutely love everything that you just shared, because you can, a lot of time I feel like I can preach all day long, but it feels more powerful coming out from someone else. Like I didn't just make this shit up. Excuse my language, but I didn't just make this shit up. It's actually a strategy that works. And
Right.
and I love the fact that what you talked about, a lot of time when people see, oh yeah, she's doing a launch, and those coaches who don't know what a launch is basically when you're offering something, you don't just throw it out into the air and, hey, it's a beautiful product, come and buy it, or come to sign up. You actually have to go through a launch period to build up the excitement and get people feel excited about it. And how do you do that? You learn through the strategy. So a lot of time what people seeing is only part of the pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
It's not the entire picture. And so if you resonate with that person, check her out, go explore, go sign up and get her newsletter so that you can get to know her a little more, and get to know the strategy. And if it calls to you, sign up to a program, get the whole picture, get the bigger picture of it.
Right.
So I love everything that you just shared. How do clients find you and work with you nowadays?
Oh gosh. So on Facebook, I'm Tracy Lane Beavers, and they can join my Facebook group, Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible and Grow Your Income. They can go to my website, tracybeavers.com. There's a contact me button there. And then on Instagram, they can just DM me.
I love it. I love it. And I think before I let you go, because we talked about your Facebook group for a couple of times, I think one of the struggles that a lot of coaches are having is, okay, so I optimize my banner profile and I have this link to invite people to my Facebook group, but I noticed that my Facebook group has a lot of cricket. What would be like your one tip that you might be able to share with our coaches right now to get them to start hype it up a little bit?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest mistakes I see is people not allowing other people to promote themselves in their group. I think that's a big mistake. I did not allow that when I first started. It was strictly a place for people to come in and consume my content. And we have to remember, in sales and marketing, they're thinking, what's in it for me? Why do I want to spend my time in your Facebook group? Yes, I might learn some really cool things from you, and that's great. But after about 30 or 60 days, unless you are wowing me with some sort of content that I can't get anywhere else, what's in it for me to be there? And so when I allowed people to start promoting their offers now, and within reason, I ask that everybody give more than they take. I want them to post educational tips. I want them to position themselves as the expert in the group. We have experts on website design, LinkedIn content. I'm not an expert on LinkedIn, but we have experts in the group that are on LinkedIn, WordPress designers, graphic designers, Canva experts. And so they are sharing their knowledge, which gets them visible. So people will click on their profile, go to their profile, learn how to connect with them to see how that works. And then they also are allowed to promote their offers. And so I do that, and that has high engagement in my group. But also, we do a lot of engagement posts. I want people to, like, one of the most engaging posts we put in there is, there's two of them. What's your best social media link? And then another one is, what's your website and what do you do? And then if I do have a lot of tech experts coming in. At one point, I had a lot of tech experts coming into the group for some reason, which is outstanding because tech is not my love language. And so I just made a post and said, hey, where are my tech experts? What's your best tech tip? People love to do that. They love to share what they know, but they're uncomfortable doing it. And sometimes they need, some people are uncomfortable doing it. Some people are not. But sometimes they need a little prompt. So thinking through in your group, what's in it for the people that are there? They want to be there to consume knowledge from you, but they also, it's got to go deeper than that. There's got to be something more, because there's lots of different groups.
Yeah. Yeah. And nowadays it's like information overload, right? So if you're not giving people a reason to be in the group, then why would they hang out in the group?
Right.
And I feel that a lot of time, these community are like, its intention is to build a community. So it's not just about you being there. And one of the things I have in my group is, there's always like a promotional Tuesday, and you feel free, because it's a business oriented group, right? So if you want to talk about your business, you got to talk about your business, especially coming off from like visibility coach. You want to bring your business out there, so talk about your business, right? And sometimes I notice that a lot of my audience, they're introverted, so they don't feel comfortable about talking about themselves. They don't feel comfortable about promoting themselves.
Right.
And so that's been the biggest challenge, like coming up, just talk about yourself. They don't like to talk about themselves.
Well, and I get it, but I'm going to give them a little tough love.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to talk about your business for you. If you want to do some pull-ups, you got to do them. I can't do your sit-ups for you. I can't, you know what I mean? It's like, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way to do it. And there are ways to dip your toe in the water if you're introverted. You don't have to go live and dance and do all the crazy things you see people doing, but you do have to share what you know.
Yeah.
And you do have to, it's not bragging. It's not, you'll know if people that have been in groups that are all they're doing is boasting and bragging. Yeah. But if you're giving good content, if you're showing your heart and you're showing how much you care and you're showing your knowledge, you need to do that. Because nobody's going to do it for you, and no one's going to find you. That's the thing. People think, well, okay, I'm going to open up this business and people are just going to find me. No, they're not. I'm sorry. It's too loud. It's too noisy. There's too many business and sales coaches out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to differentiate myself somehow.
Yeah. And if you're afraid of posting on your videos or something, or audio, whatever that you're afraid to post in like on your profile or anywhere else, then your group is a perfect place to practice. Use that as a practice place, as a playground where you can just go live, practice. No one's going to judge. We're all the same. Exactly.
If it's your group and they want to be there, they obviously like you. And so you could totally say, you say, hey, I'm going live in this group. This is the first time I've ever done this. No judgment. This may be the funniest thing you've seen all day. I'm telling you what, I have messed up lives so many times. I was the girl who, I was in the middle of my Facebook Live and I work from home, and our dog decided he had to go to the bathroom in the middle of my Facebook Live. And he's at the door, which is not far from where I have my stuff all set up for my lives. You can literally hear him on the back room. And I'm like, I finally just had to say, hold on, I'll be right back. My dog's got to go to the bathroom. And I thought, for a minute, I was mortified. And then people thought it was hilarious. It just makes you more endearing when you're just yourself.
Yeah.
When I first started going live, I thought I had to have everything perfect. I thought my hair had to be perfect. My makeup had to be perfect. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I've got a big old pimple on my chin. Oh, well.
Didn't even notice. Didn't even notice.
Everybody gets them. You know what I mean? But I felt like I had to be anchor woman perfect. Like, I'm coming to you live at 5:00 with the latest updates on business and marketing. Boring.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just, and here's a tip that I do teach, if you don't mind me sharing.
No, not at all.
Create a Facebook group. Call it whatever you want. Make it a private, secret group so nobody else can find it. You're the only person in it. You can go live to your heart's content and practice all day long. Nobody's ever going to see it unless you invite them into the group.
Yeah, one of my clients, she does that, and she invited me into the group because she wanted to have a practice and I give her feedback. So she created a private group. Nobody knows about it, and only she and I can talk. So I love everything that you just share. And speaking of that personal touch, I do have a couple of like rapid firing questions so that my audience can get to know you. These are on practice. Now, I promise not to throw any question that's weird for you.
Yeah. But for putting me on the spot.
I will not put you on the spot. Let's see. What do you impulsively buy most often at a store?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Because I don't shop very much anymore. Because I got out of the habit before the pandemic. Oh my goodness, I have to think about it. I don't impulsively shop. Does that make me boring?
Nope. That makes you who you are.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, what? There has to be something.
Well, you can let our audience know later. What is your favorite type of food?
Oh, that's hard. Okay, so I love pizza. I love tacos. I love sushi and fried rice. I mean, just if I had one last meal, though, what would it be? That's maybe steak and mashed potatoes and asparagus.
Oh, Dan, that would be a very good meal.
Yeah.
But, I always tell people, if you don't like taco, you're not my friend.
If you don't like tacos, there's something wrong with you. I mean,
exactly. Like, who doesn't love taco?
Who doesn't?
Everybody does. Yeah. One last question.
Okay.
This is coming from a quote that I really love. It's from the book Little Prince. The fox told the little prince about the simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. What do you believe is essential but invisible to the eye?
I think for me, it's authenticity. And I'll give you an example. There was a gentleman I worked with for a number of years, and he couldn't figure out why his team wasn't listening to him and taking him seriously. And in large part, it was because he was one person in his personal life, and he was a completely different person in his professional life, and he was out of authenticity. One of those people was the real person, but we didn't know which one. Mm-hmm. And so when you're, and then bring it back to business, when I help my clients, they'll bring me an idea and they'll go, well, so-and-so's doing this, and I think maybe I should try this, or I saw this on strategy, blah, 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 blah. Maybe I should try it. Or I've got this idea and that idea. And they'll ask me, what do you think I should do? And my response is always, how does it feel in your gut? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, I didn't even think about how I felt about it. So that nobody can see your authenticity. Nobody can see your character. That's not something you can hold in your hand. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have it, most of the time people can tell.
Yeah.
It's like they can smell it.
I said people can feel it.
Yes.
Our feeling is very, very in tune, and it's very strong. A lot of time we can't really tell what is true and what is not, but there's that intuitive side of us that we can feel. Mm-hmm. So when someone is not genuine or authentic, we feel that level of energy. And Helen just dropped us. That's exactly what she does. So she's the one who creates the Facebook group privately, and she goes in there, she practices, she turn on the video, and I'm with her in that group so that
Love
I can watch her.
That's really, really smart, Helen. Really, really smart. Because she can push all the buttons. You can
Yep.
learn the tech, because the other intimidating part of it is I want to go live. Okay. And I know what I'm going to say, but how do I know I'm pushing all the right buttons? And then you get all that out of your system by practicing. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, and many of my women coaches are not very tech savvy, so it's a great practice ground. So kudos to you, Helen.
Yeah, is not my love language.
Yeah, tell us again where we can find you.
Yeah, so my Facebook group, I would love for them to pop in. It's full of entrepreneurs just like them. I let people promote themselves as long as they give more than they take. And it's Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible, Grow Your Income. You'll see my picture there, so you'll know when you're in the right place.
Yeah, I'll drop that, include that in the episode note. And also I have your website here, tracybeaver.com. So I'll have all the things and all the links included, and your freebie, the one that the 90 days of content in 30 minutes.
Yes.
I will have that also available inside the episode notes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for coming to the show.
Thank you for reaching out and for, realizing that we would make a great connection. I know we met a few months ago, but I feel like you're somebody that I would have coffee with if we lived closer.
Totally, because your profile really stood out for me because there's that level of authenticity, and also this is something that we both do, and so there's a lot of mutual collaboration and synergy that's going on. So I really look forward to have you in my life.
Thanks, me too.
All right, Tracy, have a good day.
Thank you. You too, Michelle.
Bye. All right, ladies, hopefully you found this episode helpful on how to gain visibility without using the paying ad, and just do the organic trafficking in growing your community, whether you want it on a Facebook group or inside your email community. These are the strategies that you can definitely start implementing today. And if you need more support on how to put your story together so that you have a compelling story to share with the world, then be sure to check out Attract Client Through Storytelling. Only 3 days left until I close the registration and call it the day. So this is your last call. All right. I will see you in the next episode, and next week, join me again at this time, 9 o'clock Pacific time, for another episode of Light Coffee Talk. I will see you soon. Bye.